going to start out with one that is semi-relatively humorous, that a lot of people liked, and that came in great droves when I asked for the columns to come in. And the title of it in here was written in April 1986. I'm going to sort of go back and forth here. April 1986, and the title of this column was Meals with Bugs Always Remembered as a Defeat. Seems reasonable, doesn't it? Anyway, it goes like this. Human beings have to work at enjoying their successes. The memory of defeats linger longer and hurt more than the memory of successes feel good, or last, if you know what I mean. For instance, I consider myself a good cook. Not a gourmet cook, you understand, but a cook who has a plethora of great recipes. However, do I remember the meals when guests have stuffed themselves to the gills and gone away singing my praises? No, no. I remember the time when the bridge-playing guest tried to cut one of my picture-perfect meringues and shot it across the living room. And I remember the time I served an eminent priest cereal with bugs in it. His name was, and still is, Father John Flynn, and he heads the Omaha Archdiocese Department of Education. It's good to have an overactive sense of humor at times like that, because it allows one to laugh and point out the humor to other people. The guest who shot the meringue across the living room laughed as soon as she saw I was laughing. It took a little longer for the guest to laugh who had the meringue with the strawberries in her lap. As for Father John, well, even I didn't laugh right away at that one. He was a friend of ours who was in our neighborhood giving a talk, and his decision to stay with us was an unusual one because he is a dear man, but he's stuffy, and he likes things neat. And with six kids and no inclination to be neat myself, our house was never his favorite place to be. However, I'd worked at it before His Eminence's arrival, and his room was immaculate. The bathroom fixtures gleamed also, the curtains were freshly washed, the towels were new. He was, I could tell, impressed. It was at breakfast time that we got into trouble. As many farmers do, or used to anyway, I prepared bacon and eggs and homemade rolls for breakfast, and I sent the kids off with a hearty, and not to say heavy, meal. That was long before I became a born-again roughage enthusiast, you understand. I said, "Father, how do you like your eggs?" He said, "Eggs?" As if I was asking him how he liked arsenic. Well, I never eat eggs. I will have some cereal, thank you, with skim milk. I had plenty of cereal in the cupboard. No one ate cereal at our house. I'd had it there for years. So I poured him a hearty bowl full and put the milk, 2+, I didn't have skim milk in those days, on the table. We had a lot to visit about, and Father was busy talking, and so it took me a while before I noticed that there were little critters doing the backstroke on the top of Father's cereal. This is absolutely true. I honestly didn't know what to do. He'd eaten half of it. I started talking about the view out our kitchen window. I brought up skiing, Father's favorite pastime. I thought it would be guaranteed to make him forget what he was eating. I suffered. Breakfast was over. Father folded his napkin, cloth, carefully, briskly wiped off his mouth, and he said, "Thank you for the breakfast, Joni. Those bugs were delicious." And he laughed, and he has never been back. That was Father.